We're getting pretty comfortable with the red Corsairs now. We've got a nice armour recipe we like, and we've painted a few infantries. So I thought today we could push our boundaries a little bit and try something a little bit more difficult, a character from the Masters of the Maelstrom box. So with this box, there's 6 characters, and I think if I tried to do all of them in one video, that would be a nightmare. So what my plan is to do one mini video. So for this week, I thought we'd try Garlon the Souleater, the wizard dude. I think it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. Obviously, I'm not ready for anything like Huron or this woman here with all the screens. Like, these are my 2 favourites, and I think the most challenging and the coolest minis. So I want to save those to the end. Definitely not ready for that. But looking at this dude, it looks interesting and cool enough to be like a fun video, and also nice to push my boundaries and try a little bit harder. And here he is, Garlon Souleater, all sub-assembled and primed out of his mind in Raven Black from Colourforge. Just a nice matte black primer, I like the way it looks. And yeah, this model is unbelievable. Like, I knew these guys were really detailed and interesting, but I just pulled up a reference picture just so I knew what the vibe was and where colours go. And man, there's so much detail on this model. Like, even this staff, it might be hard to see with the primer, but there's like indents on that handle. They're all meant to be like nice gold trim and all highlighted. Like around the back of him, he's got like skulls and all sorts of parchments and stuff. Yeah, I'm really excited to get stuck in. I love this part, even just looking at the models and getting ideas of like, oh, I can put this here or do this that way. Like, it's cool to get those ideas flowing, so I'm keen to get stuck in. And where we are going to start with this sticking in is the red armour panels. So it's just got a couple of bit. A lot of his armour panels are covered by this cloth, so it's just like the chest and the shoulder and the arms. So yeah, it's going to start off with those, and how we're going to do them is we're going to take one of the recipes I tried in one of my previous videos. I did a video of like, what's the best way to paint red Corsair armour. So the recipe from that video we're going to try is this one, the sort of metallic shiny version. So what this is you put down like metallic paints, and then you put a contrast over the top to kind of mix the two, so you get that nice shiny metallic undertone with hints of the base colour, and then that prominent red on top of it. It's really, really nice, and I think this will really suit this dude because he's like a psyker, right? He's full of all this like psychic power and his energy and his like psychic blasts. So if anyone in this sort of like group was going to have radiant armour, it's going to be this dude. Plus, I think it will look quite nice with those nice bright gold metallic armour contrasting all of the robes, because they'll be like just matte and normal. Make like a nice like 1-2 punch, I think. So that's why we're going to do it in that scheme. And how we do that scheme is, like I mentioned, we put down a layer of copper. So I've got Brass Scorpion here. Put this down on all the armour panels, and then once that's dry, we put a little bit of Larnia Median over the top, just to help diffuse the contrast paints that we're going to apply. And that contrast is Flesh Tearers Red. So yeah, just a 1-2 punch of copper and then red for the armour panels, and then once we've done that, we'll move on to the trim, but it's basically the same concept. And here is some nice bright vibrant metallic reds, looking cool, nice and dark and heavy, but like that hint of shine metallic from underneath. Yeah, I'm a fan of this. We are going to add some more to it. Like we're going to add a highlight of a bronze. I'm not sure which one yet, either the original dark or maybe go up a touch. I'm not sure yet because there's one thing we need to do before we do some highlighting, and that's the trim. So it's the same concept, just going to put down a metallic paint, this time Leadblecher. It's the first silver I grabbed, and it's one of my favourites to be fair. And then on top of that, we're going to do like the Larnia medium layer, and we're going to put on some black Templar contrast. Not Nuln Oil, because that's what I did first time, and that was wrong. I made a mistake the first time I did this recipe and accidentally put on Nuln Oil, not black Templar. So don't do what I did in that video. Try and find your pot of black Templar. There it is. Put that on over the top. So yeah, just going to do exactly the same, just with these two colours, and then we can start moving on to some highlights for the armour. Cool, that's all of the trim done on him. Not much on this dude, to be fair, just the chest and the shoulders. Just did a Leadblecher Black Templar and then edge highlight of Leadblecher. Looking really nice, I like it. Yeah. So we're almost done with the red actually, or the whole armour to be fair. We just got to edge highlight the red sections. So the first time I did this recipe, I went back to the original brass Scorpion, but I think it might be a little bit too dark. So I want to try edge highlighting this red armour with Sycorax Bronze, just a little bit lighter. At least that way, if it's too light, I can go dark, but I can't go from too dark to too light. So we're going to stick with the Sycorax Bronze and see how that looks, just on like the belt buckle, maybe the inside of the trim of the chest and some arms. Yeah, then we can move on to this big lovely cloak down here, which is what I'm excited for. So that's pretty much everything for the armour, some nice copper highlights. I also dropped a little bit of purple in some of the recesses, just because it was mentioned in the video, in the deepest recesses you can put some purple. So I've got this Vallejo Fluorescent Violet. I thought, oh, you know what, that'd be a nice little recess shade. I kind of wish in a way I could use loads and use more of it and make it really prominent, because I feel like that would fit, again, the Psyker aspect, this purple glowing like radiant energy. But I'm really happy with how it looks at the minute, and I don't want to ruin it by like overloading too much purple. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I really like that whole vibe with the red and the copper underneath and the highlights. Really good. Also just slapped a layer of Abaddon Black on the cloak, just because that's where we're going next. So we're going to bust out my favourite thing in the world, a little makeup sponge, and we're going to sponge on some highlights of, well, we're going to go through the whole sort of blue highlights that we use on our Black Templars. So Dark Reaper Thunderhawk with the sponge, just to build up some layering, and then I'm going to crack the brush out and then do some Fenrisian and the Blue Horror. Oh, that's looking really nice, you know. I was a little bit nervous about this cloak because it's such a big thing and I don't really know what sits well against red too much, especially with that reddy copper feel that we do for this thing. But I did watch a War Hipster tutorial and he does the same, like black, and then he laid on some of the bluey highlights. So I thought I'll give that a try, and yeah, with the sponging it looks really nice, proper vibrant, and I like the way it sits with the red, it's really cool. And then as you probably just saw, if we spin around, we started on this front tabard. So I was looking at that, and it's meant to be yellow in the box art, but I was looking around online and I saw one that was purple. And I was like, oh, I just said how I want to put some more purple in it to make it more radiant and more like psychic glowing and like magic essentially. Yeah, let's bust out some purples. So I put down a base of Naggaroth, and then, I mean, these are the only three purples I own: Naggaroth, Daemonette, and Game Colour Vallejo Fluorescent. But yeah, put down a base of the dark, and then what we're going to do is and what I've started doing is just add in little bits of this Daemonette Hide and building up like highlights and layers. Because one thing I'm trying to do at the minute is just make the most of the paints I've got and do more mixing rather than like going out and buying 20 paints for single like brushstroke highlights. So yeah, we've done a base already. I put in a little bit. Actually, I can show you just here. Yeah, there we go. So I've put in just like a little bit of Daemonette Hide into that Naggaroth to line it up a little bit, and we're going to keep adding little bits and bits and bits in to build up some highlights and make some nice gradual purples. And then I'm going to put like a little glaze of this fluorescent over the top of it just to make it a little bit more pizzazzy. So yeah, excited for this. Let's get stuck back in. Oh my god, look at that. That is incredible. It came out so much nicer than I thought as well. I'm really glad, yeah, that I found a way to incorporate the purple onto it. It just sits so nice between the blue and the red. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, the ball's rolling now. I want to get this. I want to get stuck into this even more. I really want to get this done because this is great. This is really cool. I'm really happy with it, and it'll obviously look better once we fill in these pipes. I think these like vials are just going to be black with some gold casing. In a similar vein, these got these weird like pipes over there. They'll also be black with the silver bits. So yeah, let's just keep chunking through these. Oh my god, yeah, it's really coming together now. So it turns out I was having too much fun with the colours. I just had to dull back a little bit and return to the boring blacks, silvers and golds of the 41st millennium. So I'm just filling in these pipes. I say that, I am joking. It's quite cool to see these like pipes come over and they're like bursting out. Like there's a lot of character there. It's quite cool. Feels like he's got these pipes underneath that are like bursting through. And also let me bust out these Stormhost Silver, which is like a personal favourite colour of mine at the minute. It's quite cool to highlight this like silver pipes that make them really pop and vibrant. So just a couple little bits of details left on him, and then we can do maybe like a little midpoint review, just because yeah, this guy's got so much going on. It's incredible mini to talk about. So I'll do these skulls. I've got this cool skull recipe at the minute that I'm absolutely loving. It's Screaming Skull, ironically, and then Seraphim Sepia, if I can find out where it's gone. I feel like I should have a little camera that shows me looking through my trolley. There we go. So yeah, Screaming Skull, Seraphim Sepia, and then we'll relayer up the Screaming Skull on top, and then on some of the most raised and prominent sections, just a bit of Wraithbone. So one of my favourite things when starting a new army is all the little fun details and like storytelling and character you can give all the stuff you put on with the paint. So for example, I absolutely love the idea that these things here, these big sort of like parchments, are purity seals they've robbed from like other Space Marines they've killed. You go on a raid, kill a whole bunch of big shot named characters, and he strips the purity seals and he attaches them to himself to use for, I don't know, I think he carves maybe runes into these things or whatnot. So yeah, I love all the extra little details that you get to put into these characters, and just the stuff that would normally just be for yourself, but I guess I'm quite fortunate that I get to do that and also tell you guys about it, and it kind of makes the videos a little bit more fun and adds more character to and storytelling to my models. So yeah, I absolutely love it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all of these like purity seals. So what I do for my seals is Wraithbone and Agrax Earthshade. And that's where I leave my purity seals, but what I'm going to do is take these one step further and do what I did in my Red Corsair Dreadnought video, where I like stipple browns and blacks all over, so it kind of looks like they've stolen these purity seals, almost torched them, and then attached them to himself as like trophies. So yeah, just a fun little thing I like. Just I like adding all the sort of characters, these little details, that kind of a personal stamp that makes the models your own, but also kind of expands them beyond just little pieces of plastic, you know? Just the little stories you get to add. I love it, man. They're so much fun. Oh, it's all coming together now. I was getting ready to do like a midpoint review, like put the camera on my face, talk about how I'm feeling so far, things I like and don't like. And then I looked around and was like, oh wait, hold on. It's like 90% done. Like, it's all on here. So we just did the burnt sort of parchment down here, and like the leather gloves, and also the one on the staff. And yeah, I was looking around and it's like, oh, it's literally just the helmet and the staff left. This is not actually as much. I've been painting so many like massive models like dreadnoughts, and I did a video where I did like 4 Red Corsair Raiders in one go. So I've been doing so many big, huge projects. I forgot how nice it is to come back to just like little single models, even heavily detailed ones like this. It's nice just to like, oh yeah, small, manageable, fairly all right. So let's just do that. That's going to be a lot of gold, to be fair. So let's break out the Retributor and Liberator. Oh my god, I underestimated how much gold is on this staff, to a point where I'm actually going to get a little bit lazy and I'm just going to try and dry brush a whole bunch of Liberator. I was thinking like, oh, it'd be quite nice to get like the size 00, just some real long, like a nice long edge highlighting session, you know, just like going around all of the little trims. It'd be really therapeutic. I was like, yeah, that'd be nice. But now I've just spent 15 minutes putting on layers and layers and layers of gold everywhere. I'm just going to be a little bit lazy and just, yeah, give it a little dry brush. So that this could turn out terribly and I could end up doing the whole edge highlighting situation anyway. Let's just have a look and see how it vibes, because these are going to be like silver, these other details, so I can just do them afterwards, so it doesn't matter if some of this edge highlight, oh, watch out, that looks nice, yeah. Doesn't matter if this gets on other stuff. Right, I think that's actually everything for the staff and, well, almost everything. It's also everything for the whole model. I started to glue bits of it on, just the backpack and the shoulder. We did the helmet as well. Well, not all of the helmet, there's still one or two teeny tiny last little details that we're going to finish off before we take a look at our handiwork. But yeah, the helmet's looking nice. I really enjoyed that like dry brush of Liberator Gold. I forgot how much I enjoyed dry brushing. I need to do it more. But there is just one tiny thing left, and that is some blue-greeny colours, like Sotek Green and Armour Blue. So if we grab the box art, although it's going to be hard to see. Yeah, so the eyes need to be sort of glowing, and there's, I don't know if you can see here, but there's a faint sort of like tint of blue around some of the bolts in the staff. And in the glove of his hand, to be fair, but I'm not going to leave that. I don't really like the idea of the hand glowing. Well, actually I do, but I don't think I can do it well, so I'm going to be safe and leave it. But this staff has got some teeny tiny glowing bits, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break out that dry brush again. Well, first I'm going to put a little specks of Sotek Green on the eyes and those little gems, and then we're going to dry brush some Barahorth Blue over the top. Not Armin, sorry, Barahorth. And here we go, hidden behind this official box art is our very own Garlon Souleater. Look at this guy, he's incredible. Oh my god, I'm so happy with how this has turned out, man. Look at how cool this mini is. Yeah, like just painting, like my painting aside, the mini itself is unbelievable. Like people have been going on about how cool these like Masters of the Maelstrom new minis that look, but wow, I can't believe it. There's just so much going on. There's so much detail. It flows really nice as well. It's all like nice and cohesive, and yeah, it's just an incredible looking mini. And then yeah, I think our paint job's looking pretty good as well, you know. I'm really happy with how the red metallic armor looks against the cloth, because that was like the main thing we did with the armor. We went for that metallic contrast on top of metallic paints, and then some sort of blacks and blue highlights of like matte base paints for the cloth, so they'd have a nice contrast against each other. And yeah, I'm really happy with like that vibe, the whole look of, yeah, even the staff, like the shiny gold staff with the muted leather hands, like the gloves, looking really nice. And then yeah, I just like, oh, I love that purple strip down the middle. It's just nice. Like I know in the box art it's meant to be yellow. I like the way purple sits between like red and blue in general on like the color chart. Like it's around that area, so I thought it looked really nice. And oh yeah, it's really good. I think one thing we can work on in the future is like focal points of minis. Like kind of thinking about when you look at the mini as a whole, where should your eyes jump to? What should the focal point be? Because as cool as this guy looks and as happy as I am with him, like I do love the paint job, and it's one of my favorite minis I've ever done. Like he's so cool. I do feel like when you look at him, like if I like covered him up and went, hey, look at that, you kind of feel like, whoa, there's loads going on. You don't really know where your eyes should draw to. So I guess like that's something I need to think about in the future and consider is when I'm painting minis is like, okay, what's the focal point? What are the supporting colours and stuff? But that's something I guess for the future. Like right now we can just enjoy what we've done here, and yeah, I love it. It's so cool. I guess the last thing we did was that sort of blue glow on the staff, just dry brushing around the eyes and the staff, and I'm really happy with that. I even dry brushed it a little bit onto the hand. I don't know if it will come up. Yeah, some like faint dry brushing onto the hand of the staff, just to emulate like, yeah, like the radial power that's glowing out of it is glowing on the hand a little bit. Really good. And I guess while we're back here, I love this like skull on the back and the amount of skulls on him. Like I've got this really cool skull recipe I'm enjoying at the minute, like on the belt just there, like those two skulls look really good. Like I don't want to toot my own horn, but they're some of the best skulls I've done, I think. They're really nice. So yeah, getting to flex that skull recipe's been nice, but just, oh, yeah, it's really cool. I'm really happy with this. It's really good. I think the sponging on the cloak has been really nice as well. Like it's a nice little shading there, like the nice blues looking good against the reds. It's gone a bit hard on the blue. Maybe I should have sponged on like Corvus Black as the first main colour and dialed back the highlights a little bit. But I do quite like the blue. Like one thing I really like about this mini is how much colour is in it. Like I didn't realise how little colour I've been using with the Black Templars, because like they're just black, red and white. And I think that does look cool. I like that clean aesthetic, but it is quite nice like being able to flex those different colours like blues and reds and purples and all sorts. Yeah, it's fun to bust out some new colours I haven't used before. I guess just touch on the base just a little bit. Like I've been sticking with the grey recipe I've got, just like dry brushing various greys to make like a rubbled base. But this thing had like a skull and like a pool of what I'm assuming is blood or liquid. So I just slapped some like flesh tearers and bowel red on there just to make it look like it was like a pool of blood, and painted that skull, I don't know, Screaming Skull and Skeleton Horde. So yeah, just a little bit extra, but I mean, it's incredible that even the base itself has this much detail. It's wild. But yeah, what an incredible mini. Well happy with this. There we go. One Master of the Maelstrom down and five more to go. Yeah, 5 more. Maybe 6 if you count the dog. But that was a blast. Oh my god, that was so much fun. Like, it won't come across in the video, but it only took me like 2 days. And not because it was so small or easy or simple. It was just because I was having so much fun, like doing little details like, oh, I'll just do the parchments. Oh, now I'll just do this bit and now that. And I have just so many cool, fun little details, and I was really enjoying it. So I just flew through it in like 2 days. And I forgot how much I enjoyed, yeah, just having like one model and just sinking all of my attention and time into it. Because we've done a lot of really big projects like dreadnoughts, testing recipes, or like new recipes for the first time. So it was quite nice to take like just a character and just sink like all our focus and do one thing and like try and do it really well. And it was good. I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. And I kind of want to get stuck in with the rest now, but we need to pace ourselves because they're going to be a mission. But thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe, and tune in next time. Bye!